Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Stuff podcast, where we talk about all things Star Wars. My name is James.
My name is David.
I don't sound like that. Don't even pretend.
You sounded like that.
It sounded like you were making fun of me for saying it like that. You were like, "My name is David." Come on.
Remember we had that whole conversation about our accents? How people say, "You got an accent." I'm like, "No, I don't."
Yes, you do. You have an accent. I have an accent. After I'll say something, and then out of nowhere, my southern drawl comes in, and I'm like, "Oh, brother, ew, what's that?" Yeah, it's just like, man,
howdy, y'all.
Yeah, I'll say y'all. Oh, the other day I said yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and somebody was like, "You're not from California," and I said, "No."
What did they say over there?
Not yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, or no, sir, or yes, sir. And they were like, you were raised somewhere else besides California. I was like, yeah, in Texas. They're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Shout out to our patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for supporting us and listening to David and I. The other day, David and I did, how long was that episode? Like 45 minutes, almost an hour, where we were talking about something. And then we ended up just watching Rogue One together and just nerding out about Rogue One. It was so funny. TJ in the house, Blue Milk
Intelligence. That's a great name.
That is a great. I am so jealous of that name right now. That is pretty good. It's almost as good as Darth Beard. Just want to throw that out there. Darth Beard also has one of those names, and I'm like, that's a good name. But thank you for joining us, Blue Milk Intelligence. So I guess, as you can tell by our title, Star Wars Celebration Japan is very, very soon. This time next week, I am on a plane already flying to Japan, which is kind of scary. but yeah, I'm also looking forward to that. Oh, Blue Milk Intelligence is copyright. Oh, okay, got you. So we can't use that one.
Which is a great segue for a story I need to talk to all of our listeners and watchers about. But
please.
I don't think I've told you, James. Have I told you about copyright? I haven't even told James about this.
Wait. Do we want to talk about this on the podcast, or do we want to wait till afterward?
We can talk about it so we could help out future podcasters here.
Oh boy. Okay, we're doing this. Let's do it. Who just wrote that? Japan is scary. Stay home. Don't say that. You're making me second guess this whole thing. All right. You're making me wonder, should I go to this thing? No, I'm just kidding. I'm going.
Wait a minute. Is this Colin?
Wait a second. Is this Colin? I don't know. It might be Colin.
This is Japan, Zach. So Zach, Zach, you in Japan.
Zach, you hyped it up for us not too long ago, and now you're like, don't go. It's scary. Come on. Derpy Entertainment just said, I'm just here for the beard. I think they're talking about you, or they're talking about Darth Beard. One of those two, I think, is who they are.
Your beard.
No, they're not talking about my beard.
Are you gonna shave, or are you gonna not shave?
I am going to trim up the beard a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Just clean it up a little bit more before I go. And
I'm not sure your spectacles when you take the Oscar Isaac Ex Machina pick.
I thought about doing the whole shave the head and then do the dance. Start learning. I'm already doing pretty good. I'm not doing that dance, but it would be pretty funny to do that dance. So let's get back to this question before we go on. And this might actually segue also into Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the upcoming Underworld series? I am excited, but David texted me. Actually, no, David calls me while I'm at work, and I'm like, I can't talk right now. Is everything okay? And David was like, why did they announce the Underworld series now? Like, why didn't they wait until Star Wars Celebration? And we are in a group chat with Mary, who's also on. Oh, she's not here right now, but usually she's on here. And our friend Haley. And we were all kind of going, this is really weird that they launched this trailer and they announced it before Star Wars Celebration. It looks awesome. It looks like it's going to be a really, really great little series they have there. But it is kind of shocking they didn't wait until Celebration to do that. So why do you think they did that?
I don't know, but see, that screams like they got so much content for us. They don't have enough room to share. But then again, it's like, maybe they just don't care. Maybe they're like, well, we need more eyeballs on this. We need to pump up May 4th more. That's why they did it. What do you think?
That's so crazy to think about. It seems strange that they that they did it, because I mean, Celebration is the time to do it. Get us all pumped up, get everybody excited who's there at Celebration. Show us the trailer before you show everyone else, and then we can all start talking about it. But it's just really weird that they did announce it, and it makes me nervous that there might not be much to do at Celebration. Like they might not announce anything crazy, because there aren't any panels that will make way for a big announcement. Like there's really, Ahsoka will say, hey, we're doing season 2. We might even get some concept art from season 2 of Ahsoka. Andor is airing in a couple of days after the panel, so we're not going to get anything brand new with that one. And then Mando and Grogu will get like, just a teaser trailer, but they're not going to say like, oh, by the way, here's, John Boyega and Oscar Isaac. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to get that type of announcement at Celebration. So I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I talking too much? Do you think we might get something like that at Celebration? Like that moment?
I really hope so. I mean, they surprise us with this. Maybe they surprise us even bigger at Celebration. I mean, it's in Japan. There's a lot of fans flying in from the other side of the planet to be there. Hopefully they make it special in some way, shape, or form. I know a lot of people aren't going now that bought tickets. I know a lot of people giving away their tickets. I know a lot of people selling their tickets. So it's like maybe the reservation process didn't even like matter, that we are like in a mad scramble and crazy fueled, like anxiety ridden selves that we were 2 weeks ago when the panel reservations came up. And it was a lottery kind of. But people said it wasn't. People were confused. People were clicking the wrong buttons. People were asking, is this the holding room? Where's the little green guy walking across my screen? What's going on? And I'm like trying to answer people's questions. And it was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But it was pretty clear if you calmed down and read and comprehended what you're reading.
Well, first you had to get into the room. And that wasn't easy. Like just getting into the room took a while. So I'm literally in the waiting room of this virtual waiting room. And Mary and you are already like, I think you said I got Mando and Grogu or something like that. And I was just like, no way. And meanwhile, I'm still just in the waiting room waiting to log in just so I can pick my panel. And it was a nightmare. It was not a fun experience to do that one. Oh, are you frozen, David?
No, I'm not frozen. You were frozen earlier, which was kind of weird, but I don't know what the people are seeing online. But you can hear me, right?
Kind of. You sound a little broken up. Hopefully not. Hopefully everyone else can hear us properly.
We mentioned something about Celebration and the Lucasfilm snipers got to it.
They came in and they were like, we don't need people talking about what just happened. See, Mary's like, I was logged in an hour before and barely got it. Yeah, and that's another thing. Our friend Haley was like it was, and I'm not gonna lie, okay. And like David said, if you just read through it, you would be able to see it. But when I got in there, mind you, they could have all been sold out. I only had access to Andor Galaxy Stage, and nothing else was there. And so I clicked it, I got it. And then later on, David was like, "Oh no, you had to like move over to the next day or something like that." And I was like, "There was another option for that." And I'm not gonna lie, I was very bummed. I was very upset because then, like I said, you and Mary were talking like, "Oh, I got this, and I got this," and I was like, I didn't get anything, and I was like, I might not even go to this thing because of that. But I'm gonna go, and it's gonna be fun. Because there is a lot of talk about people who aren't going to go. So if you queue up a little early in the morning, they might let you into those panels on the Celebration stage, which I think there's like a 95% chance I'm going to still get to go to these panels because of that. And again, David and I got really lucky. We're about 6 minutes away from the convention center. We can literally walk straight. We're connected to the convention center, so us getting there early is not going to be a big issue. But it was a little bit of a
nerve-wracking, very frantic. Yeah, it's not pleasant. Have I broken down the way that the ticket selection works when you're actually buying tickets for Celebration? I think it's the same thing for the panel reservations that they did. The way it works is it doesn't matter how soon you log in to the waiting room to purchase the reservations or tickets, because it takes your name and it just randomly throws it in a virtual queue. There's a bunch of different queues. You don't know where you land. So I think I got in there first. I think Haley got in second. I think you got in there third. Haley got in first to select her panels. She went through. She thought she could only select one panel because she selected 2 panels on Saturday, which is Andor and Ahsoka, and the limit is 1. You got to pick one or the other. So she picked Andor, but she didn't pick anything else because the screen kept on airing out on her.
Yeah.
So she only selected 1. She only got 1. I selected all the panels that I wanted. It aired out on me. It said only pick 1 panel for Saturday. I thought James is going to get Ahsoka, so I was going to cover Andor. So I removed the check mark from Ahsoka, and it went through. So when it went through, it said, congratulations. You got Andor, Celebration, Mando, Galaxy Stage, and then Visions for Twin Sun Stage on Sunday. So I got the 3 that I was looking for. I got 1 Celebration Stage, and then you got in there like 10, 20 minutes later.
It felt like it was 30 minutes later. Y'all were already making plans for your panels, and I still hadn't even got into the room yet, and it was bad. It was very bad.
And while you're doing this, you're kind of filled with adrenaline because you know you need to do this quick so you can get your stuff and get out, because we don't really know. Yeah, we really don't know how the system works behind the covers here. What it's really doing, is it holding the panels when you're in there? I mean, how does that even work? You know, I was just trying to go in there fast and then the other kind of like kicker here, the twist in all this. Once I got in, it was all English, and then it like did this refresh, and then it turned to Japanese and English.
All Japanese. So maybe that's why I didn't see that. I could have just gone to the next page to pick another date, because it was all I saw was Andor, and I clicked it right away, and I was like, I guess that was all available. And then you were like, no, they're still there. And so then I was like, okay, let me try to re-enter it. And as I was re-entering it, it just said Mando Grogu completely sold out, all this other stuff. I was like, oh, and I called David. I was like, dude, I'm not going, man. I was like, I was really upset because it was really upsetting. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna. But then David calmed me down and said, it's fine. And I said, okay, it's gonna be fun. Well, we're gonna go.
They have explicitly said on the website there will be standby lines.
Yeah.
Now, with all these people that aren't going, that are selling their tickets, that aren't going to show up, standby line might work.
Yeah,
because I don't think these rooms are going to fill up. I mean, I don't think they're going to do standby for the Galaxy, the Galaxy Stage, because I mean, everyone's going to try for Celebration, of course, but it'd be great if we could see them in person. That would be the thing.
I think we're going to get lucky.
You want to spend a lot of Celebration just waiting in line. I mean, you're going to have to balance and weigh everything there.
That's true. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to get lucky. I think we're going to go in there. It's going to be fine. Matt here said, I got nothing after waiting for 40 minutes. I was almost right there with you. No joke. I felt like I was waiting for about 40 minutes to get in there. Darth Beard just said, you're both still here. Why haven't you left for Japan yet? I'm like I said, I don't know if you're here at the beginning, Darth Beard, but I'm going to be there this time next week. I'm already on the plane flying across the Pacific, freaking out because there's just ocean beneath me. And let's go back to this Blue Milk Intelligence. What do you think? Crimson Dawn animated series. That sounds great. I mean, Crimson Dawn animated series sounds perfect for a Tales of Crimson Dawn. You know what I mean? Like it feels like that's a perfect opportunity to do that. Now, a whole series dedicated to that. I mean, what do you think, David?
I'm a live action guy. I would love to turn that into something dealing with the Hutts and make it about the Hutts, maybe do like a prequel series or something. And there's that whole rumor that Guillermo del Toro was going to do a Hutt trilogy thing, and people kind of some people laughed at it. Some people were like, oh, that's cool. And then it came out that it was like real. It was gonna happen, but for whatever reason, I can't remember anymore. It was just kind of canceled. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see that there is definitely a way to make this stuff great in live action and tie in a bunch of stuff. Of course, we're going to get the animated Tales of the Underworld. You could fit in Crimson Dawn there, but it seems like they're just going to concentrate on Cad Bane and Asajj Ventress. Really,
well, I mean, that's kind of how they, the other one, Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the, of the Dark, of the Sith, and all that. They just focus on one or two characters back and forth going. Yeah. Which I'm okay with, but I just think a Crimson Dawn, there's a lot of story, and I feel like maybe 6 episodes of that style I think would probably get the job done. But that's just my thinking. But we'll see how this one goes. So we have Darth Beard. I think they've done so much Maul. I don't think they'd carry just that one just yet. Yeah, I honestly think Maul would be able to carry a show like that. I think that would be something pretty interesting to see, but we'll see if they announce it there at Celebration. Did y'all side with Crimson Dawn on Outlaws games? I have not played Outlaws. I know Colin has. If Colin were here, he'd be able to go.
Colin beat it in like 2 days,
which was that guy is crazy. He beat the Indiana Jones game also in like a couple of days too. So I can't talk because when Jedi Survivor came out, I sat for like 5 days straight, did nothing for 5 days, but played Jedi Survivor, and it was everything I wanted it to be and more. Just saying. So yeah, that was our Celebration scare there, and like I said, when in Anaheim, I wasn't too worried that I didn't get in the panels because I was able to just literally drive to the convention park and then go to Celebration and get in my car and drive home, which was the weirdest feeling ever. I'm not going to lie. That was the strangest feeling to do that. Because it didn't hurt me to do that because I was like 8 minutes away from the parking garage. But with this one kind of hurts if I don't get a panel, like if I can't, and if I stand in the standby lane and I can't get in, that's going to hurt because I just flew literally halfway across the world and can't go to this thing. So
you'll get in, James.
Oh yeah,
we'll see you live on Instagram reporting from the panel.
Oh, okay, I appreciate it. So someone's gonna sneak me in, or I'm just gonna walk in. We'll see. But
there's gonna be some seats there open for you.
Seats. Yeah, we found great seats, and if you listen on Patreon, we told you that the story about how we got into the episode 9 panel, and that's a whole. But if you're on Patreon, listen to that. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, Japan's coming up very soon. I'm very excited about it. Every day it feels like they release new information. We just got the notification of the new exclusive Hot Toys. They're going to be there at Star Wars Celebration, and there's one that is amazing, which is the Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Vader, and it looks beautiful. Hold on. Let's see what Darth Vader said. I'm not going to read that comment. Whoever said that, I think that's still Zach. I don't know. But anyways, they're spending so much time concentrating on sequel eras, so why not post Jedi animated series that takes place up to The Force Awakens? And they can, dude, I know, like, this needs to happen. Like, we want that series, that Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Leia Organa animated series leading up to The Force Awakens. I mean, because we already have Mando and Grogu leading us to The Force Awakens. You can do so much more with that era. So, no, I agree. All right, I'll put this up here. They hate facial hair here, so they might kick you out. That's not true, right? I mean, we're just...
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of an Asian person with facial hair. You don't see much of that, right?
Dude, I'm not shaving this beard, man. I'm gonna keep the beard. And Matt, don't worry, I'll save you a seat. We have like a group of us who are gonna like save seats for each other and everything. So yeah, we'll be good. What you got?
So, Mike Coachella, a friend of the podcast, I saw that he posted something on the Facebook group. He said, "Hey, if you could save me one of these Lego blocks, that'd be great." So I think at the Lego store, if you buy so much in, I guess, Lego, they give you like this. They give you this like flat block looking thing, okay. And I think it's a Celebration in Japanese. Every time I go to Celebration, there's a lot of cool stuff. Okay, there's a lot of cool stuff, but I'm usually not in the position to buy cool stuff because I'm usually trying to get into a panel. I'm usually trying to do something to help to get into said panels.
Yeah.
So I'm never in these like lines. It's very rare. So London was a little different because I won no panels, so I couldn't go. So that's when I just started shopping, and I got all these photo ops and signatures and stuff because I couldn't get into panels. But other than London, I've always been in the panel situation. This time around, kind of the same thing. I'm in 3 big time panels. There's 2 panels aside from this that we're going to have to get in line and queue up. It's the Oscar Isaac interview with Vanessa Marshall.
Oh, that's
and it's
right.
the animation panel that nobody has reservations for. So who knows what that line's going to be like. So I'm going to be in a lot of lines here. So I don't think I'll be able to get myself stuff, let alone save anything for anyone. And then on top of that, trying to record stuff for the podcast as well. But
yeah, we're going to be hopefully vlogging while we're there. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully I'll get to experience. We got a good conversation going on here. So yeah, apparently Darth Beard asked you this a while back, David. So
I don't even think I'm going to see that booth, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm going to be in so many lines all the time. And then for the Celebration store too, I want to buy some pins for myself.
Geez.
So I mean, it's just going to be waiting in line after line after line. So I don't know, man. I whatever can happen, great, but it's going to be tough. And I think it's like 1 Lego brick per person. So then you'd have to go to the back of the line, and that stuff's going to sell out.
Well, then I'll just be right behind you. Then I'll go and get one. I'm just joking. But
if we're even together, we might be in different lines. Yeah,
that's true. I will say this. I'm a little upset they haven't announced like the extra day before Celebration shopping. Like, I wish they would do that. Like on Thursday, they open up
Bounty Hunter preview night.
Yes, that would be really cool. But oh well. But yeah, there's a lot of exclusive stuff there, and it's only 3 days, so it's there's really not that time to kind of just relax like we usually get at Celebration. There's usually like a day where we kind of don't do anything. This year it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so you got to make sure you have a lot booked, and you don't want to be standing in line for 8 hours at the store to buy yourself a Celebration shirt. So it's which
is probably what I'm going to end up doing.
Which is probably what I'm going to end up doing too, which makes me really sad. But I think it'll be fine. But yeah, it's happening. It's coming up soon. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting to that Mando Grogu panel because I want to see the teaser. They are going to show a teaser, right? Like you don't think they're gonna?
It would be wild if they didn't. Right? Disney just gave the presentation at CinemaCon in Vegas, and apparently they didn't show anything from Mandalorian Grogu, but that's a little confusing because they actually had the Mandalorian as their backdrop, along with all the other properties like Thunderbolts and Elio and all their other stuff that they're trying to plug here. So yeah, we really don't have anything new, and I wouldn't think they would release anything new. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from Celebration, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, why would they release anything really? But here we are with the Underworld stuff.
Yeah, which again looks really great, but it's like you could have just waited. Come on, you could have given us. And I don't know. It just yeah, we'll see. So yep, I'm excited. What else was on the agenda today for Star Wars talking? Unless you just want to watch Rogue One again, then we just talk about Rogue One. Then,
okay, great segue. So Blue Milk Intelligence, he says it's copy right now. So
here we go.
This, but we got a I was gonna say a letter, an email from Spotify telling us that we infringed on copyright a little bit.
How long ago was this?
This was like a week ago.
What?
Yeah. So
wait, what?
They listed. It's not that big a deal.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I think we have what? How many podcasts have we done?
Over a couple. I think it's like 500 podcasts we've done.
Okay, 500, 600. So out of those 500, 600, Spotify is telling us that we infringed on copyright on 45 podcasts.
I wonder.
So they gave us a report on which podcast we infringed copyright on. But it's strange because I would figure that we infringed on way more than 45. But some of the ones that they told us we infringe copyright on is when we use people's music where they use Star Wars music and made it like their own for their YouTube page. And they're telling us we infringe copyright using someone else's music where they infringed on copyright. So it's like, what?
Oh.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's strange. But yeah, there's a few times where we put like John Williams music in some of our podcasts. Not for a long time or anything, but I mean, the music is almost 50 years old, guys. I mean, come on.
Come on. But then again,
it should be public domain.
They keep using it for more stuff, so I can understand that. But that's funny, though. I'm glad we haven't been taken off anything because of that. That's good to know. I was a little nervous when you said that. I was like, are we going to have to delete all of our podcasts now and start over from scratch? Because that would not be fun. But
Lucasfilm is really generous with Star Wars podcasters in that they let us use a Star Wars name in our title. They've never said anything to us. I mean, essentially, this boils down to free marketing. Mm-hmm. We're doing a podcast. We have listeners. We're talking about Star Wars. We're pretty positive overall. We do voice our displeasure sometimes and our opinions and stuff, but still overall, I think we're good for the Star Wars brand because we like it.
We like Star Wars. We're not one of those people who gets our likes by dissing Star Wars. We actually like Star Wars. So,
yeah.
Which is weird. I remember we got criticized. People thought we worked for Disney or Disney was paying us to be positive.
I haven't gotten that in a long time.
Yeah, but it was still funny we got it anyways. Just saying that was actually a funny thing that happened. But Jar Jar sticks. Anyways, so back to Andor. So we're getting pretty close to Andor, and season 2 is coming up, and it just feels like the hype level for this show is getting bigger. Like there's a lot of people looking forward to Andor, and I am 100% looking forward to Andor. And it's like, man, what surprises can they give us in this series? Like, what's something they can give us that we haven't even thought about with Star Wars? Because we all know how it's going to end. Can they introduce something that could potentially be used later on? Like, what do you think?
Right. There's two categories. The stuff that we're kind of assuming and kind of hoping for, like the Vader, Tarkin, that type of stuff showing up. And then there's a category of like, what kind of unexpected things will we learn? I don't really feel there's going to be a lot of unexpected things we learn per se. Unless there's just like some revolutionary idea that Tony Gilroy comes up with. Someone says Cyril. There's talk of maybe Cyril or Dedra doing a flip-flop and going to the rebellion. That's possible. But from this last trailer for Andor Season 2, we see Dedra almost like getting force choking on something, possibly. I don't know. That gives us a little bit of hope that we get like a Vader or... Vader and of course Tarkin are high on the list, but
we see Vader?
I think we should. He's a big part of it. We see the Death Star.
Yeah, but with Rogue One, how he was used, that introduction of him in Rogue One was very, very cool. And it's like, it kind of cheapens it if we see him again and then Krennic is like, oh, I'm going to go see Vader. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I would be okay not seeing Vader at all in season 2 of Andor. In fact, I don't want to see Vader in season 2 of Andor.
Boo, James. Yeah, I want to see Vader.
What was that?
I want to see Vader. I want to see him reprise his role of just slaughtering people. And I think Gilroy would do it.
I'm
pretty sure he phoned up Kathleen Kennedy and was like, hey, send the suit.
I don't know, man. Let's make a bet right here. I'll shave half my beard if Vader shows up. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna
I'll bet you 10,000 yen. No.
Oh, you want to go that far? Huh?
We're going to be back from Japan by the time we start.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If you're watching the timeline order, it takes so much away if he's in Andor. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't want him to. I really don't think. I think the way he was introduced in Rogue One is such a beautiful like way in that it makes way for a new hope now. That's what I think. And if you're gonna do Vader, don't do him in Andor. Do Vader, have him in another story, but not in Andor season 2. That is my opinion with that. And I know I'm probably odd man out here, but that's what I think.
Okay. So yeah, you brought up stuff that
You're welcome.
Might surprise us. Do you have anything in mind?
Something that might surprise us. I mean, I don't know. I really don't think of anything that could surprise us, considering that we are leading directly into Rogue One. You know what I mean? Like, there's really no space for anything. The characters that we fell in love with in season 1, we know who's going to die because they're not in they're not in Rogue One. So we might be seeing people get murdered throughout season 2, which I think is going to be pretty brave of Lucasfilm to do. But I don't know. I don't think. I don't know if we're gonna get anything crazy. I hope they surprise announce Obi-Wan or Anakin series movie. Yeah, that'd be a cool announcement at Celebration. But I don't know. I really don't know what the big surprise could be. All I know is with season 2 of Andor, the story itself is going to push it forward. The story itself is going to make it incredible without having to do anything crazy with the surprises. That's what I think they're going for.
Yeah, that would be the stage to announce something like a Vader movie or series at Celebration. Hopefully they do bring it. I mean, we already brought it up, the fact that they announced the Underworld thing. That would be great to do that. I'm now kind of on the side of them announcing something because there's that whole rumor of them having 5 projects in like pre-production for like the longest time. There's a little bit of Sean Levy news out there. The fact that he got interviewed and he said he was super excited. This is something that he's been wanting to do for a long time. It takes place 5 years after The Rise of Skywalker, and apparently Ryan Gosling is a part of it. So that story is still holding up. So maybe we get Sean Levy show up in Japan and do like an impromptu thing added on to Mando and Grogu or something. I don't know.
That would be insane to get
Ryan
Sean Levy on stage.
Show up. That would be great.
With Ryan Gosling, like the goodwill towards that project already would be pretty awesome. But I don't see how they could segue into from Mando Grogu to Sean Levy's, or even Andor to Sean Levy. You know what I mean? Like, there's really no. I don't know. It's just us really hoping they do that, but I don't know how they can pull it off.
It feels like Japan is primed for a lot of surprises, and I don't want to get our hopes up. It might be very straightforward. We just kind of get the panels and get a teaser trailer and just move on. But it feels like we're going to get something, like at least one thing that we didn't expect. Yeah.
Darth Beard says, I hope we don't get Kathleen Kennedy promising 17 projects. We only see 3 in the. Yeah, I mean, but I will say they haven't. I mean, they did announce the Rey film, which they lost their screenwriter because he had to go do what's that? Peaky Blinders. But if you think about it, they really haven't announced many Star Wars. Like, they haven't done the whole big presentation for good reason, because I think now that Bob Chapek isn't there telling them to do that, they're not going to just pull out these projects that weren't even ready to go. So yeah, we'll see. But David, the rebellion is built on hope. Yeah, that's true. And then somebody said Ryan is a great actor, but I don't want him in Star Wars. Would that be too distracting to have Ryan Gosling in Star Wars?
No, It
You
wouldn't.
don't think so? Really?
It wouldn't, man. It would not.
I mean, a prominent role in Star Wars played by Ryan Gosling. Like,
Maybe if you would have asked me this question like a month or two ago, I would say yeah. But I saw something online that we can't show here, of course, because of course you're going to break copyright or whatever.
obviously, yeah, because we got in
But-
trouble. Where'd it go?
Someone, and I've been saying this for a while. If you've been listening to the podcast, I've been saying that there's going to be a point in time this decade where a fan is going to make a Star Wars film that's indistinguishable from what Lucasfilm makes. So that has been supplanted by, and I know a lot of people are going to be turned off by this, but a lot of people are making AI videos of Star Wars.
Yeah, they are.
And they're getting there, man. They are getting there. And there was a particular video I saw that used a very, very famous actor that you would never think would be in a Star Wars film. And it worked. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to see this. They made like a trailer type thing. And of course, it just smelled of like Chat GPT. I want a Star Wars film set in the 80s, action, in the vein of the original trilogy. I mean, there were like Ewoks and Wookiees and all kinds of stormtroopers, all types of stormtroopers. And it was extremely violent too.
Oh, that sounds great.
So yeah, and I mean it worked, man. It worked. And then you go back to, I know we brought up this topic about Underworld, but it goes back to Rick McCallum saying that those scripts were not PG-13. They were like beyond PG-13. And Rick McCallum said that if they were to make those shows, Disney probably wouldn't have been so anxious to sign Star Wars, which I want to visit that universe and see.
I want to see what George Lucas was planning for that, because I mean they had like a number of scripts done. They had a budget
40 to 50 scripts, something like that.
They were ready to go, man. Lucas was ready to party, and and then it's so sad that it just didn't happen. But then again, if it had happened, we probably wouldn't have anything today. You know what I mean? Like Star Wars probably would have just been, I don't know.
I don't know. He did write a sequel trilogy and he turned it into Disney and they denied it. And because it was too science, metachlorian heavy. But the villains were going to be Darth Maul and Darth Talon. Which is wild,
man. Like, geez. Oh, well, we'll never know. I think in like another 20 years, we're going to get a book that explains everything that happened.
So, of course, we're not going to get that film and that trilogy, but type that script into AI and
no, dude, don't.
You get it right there.
I'm not. No, I refuse to use
no
AI
for
stuff.
that.
I refuse to do AI stuff like that. That's just, I cannot fathom doing that because it's like, I don't know. Somebody said I think we're close to a Star Wars horror movie of sorts because Disney can make that but not R-rated. Just so you know, everybody, Disney owns the licenses for the Predator and for the Ewoks. It's just a matter of time before we get a Predator versus Ewok movie, which I think would be okay. It's just a phone call away, you know.
So yeah, like I said earlier, CinemaCon is happening right now in Vegas. They did talk about the new Predator film in the Disney presentation, Predator Badlands, and one of my my podcasting idols, I guess there's no other way to put it, Dan Trachtenberg is the director.
That's right.
And,
yes.
Yeah, and he gave us Prey, and he's probably going to give us another terrific Predator movie, which you can. I think you can still watch it on Hulu, right?
Yeah, still on Hulu.
Yeah, so
it was awesome.
Yeah, we'll see how this next one turns out. And he also directed Cloverfield Lane. So
pretty good movie, but It's just I like that meme where it's the Predator and the Ewoks, and it's like Disney owns both of them right now, and it's just like just one decision away from being a reality. Like Ewoks versus Predator, that would be a great movie.
And we now live in a world where Deadpool Wolverine has come out, and that was a hard rating of R.
Yeah. And it's on Disney Plus right now. So you can just watch it. Mary says, I still want John Cena in a mask in a Star Wars film.
John Cena's a great actor.
He's amazing. He's like he's not under the radar, but he's like just an amazing actor. And of course, the joke is we wouldn't see Cena. Like we would just be like, who's talking right now? Like, oh, I don't know. I can't see him, but just kidding. That's so stupid. I love that joke still goes through all these years. But yeah, I mean, back to what we were saying, like announcing a new Star Wars project or teasing a new Star Wars project would be amazing at Celebration Japan, but I can't see a panel to where they would do that. You know what I mean? Like I can't figure out how they would do that.
Yeah. I mean, straightforward, it doesn't seem like they would have the time, but Celebration Japan's only going to be 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 or 4 big panels that they consider big panels, even though they're technically, I would say, is 4 with the animation panel. So yeah, James and I will be there, hopefully at the celebration stage, mm-hmm. and we're going to try and report back as much as we can. If you're not on our Instagram, you can join it easily by just typing in Star Wars Stuff Pod. I know there's like an issue with that, but I think it's been corrected. So you can go there. We're probably going to Instagram live a bunch of stuff. I think that's the easiest platform to be on when it's happening live. And yeah, you should see us in the arena there at the convention center.
And like I said, I'm gonna do my best to edit the videos and upload them to YouTube at the end of each day. So hopefully in the morning when you wake up, those videos are ready to go for you in the States. And
yeah, compared to Central Time, I believe there's a 14-hour time difference. It'll be 14 hours in the future,
which is I can't. Don't talk to me about that stuff. But anyways, somebody said I want a Star Wars sci-fi movie. I think you're onto something. I'm just saying. I think this could be a reality. I think we might see that. That's very great. All right, what else was on the agenda today? I know we kind of were just like we're just gonna talk about Star Wars. We didn't really plan it.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered most of the stuff we wanted to talk about, and then some.
I will say this: the whole watching live at Celebration, the past 2 celebrations, they have not done that. I'm talking. I mean, live us talking, but like the Celebration Star Wars show really doesn't. They don't do the panels anymore, which is so strange. Because I remember in London, or it was in Europe. It was for the Rogue One. I was able to watch that panel, the Rogue One panel, because they were live streaming it, and I was in my room and it was like early in the morning and I was watching it and I was like, this is really cool. But now they don't do that anymore. And yeah, Zach, I'm sorry. But yeah, talk about us going like, you jump on, we'll be there. Hopefully we can see you wherever you are in Japan. That'd be nice. But yeah, no, you'll be able to jump on because you'll be right there with us. You'll probably be the only person watching live because you'll be in the same time zone. But yeah, just so you know, the Star Wars show will not be streaming the panels on YouTube, which is I don't know.
Which is a shame. You're gonna have to catch it in like 480p on someone's like TikTok account or something.
Yeah, I'm not looking, and we're not gonna be. I don't know. We're not gonna be live streaming. We're not gonna live stream the whole panel, right? Because that's just, I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to tell us to put up our phones.
Yeah, they're going to be like, get out.
I mean, yeah, that's not going to be allowed. But we are going to do what we want to try and do, I think, is every night when we like come back to our hotel room, do a podcast, do it live, and kind of recap what we saw. I know Colin's going to be back in Michigan trying to post all the breaking news on Instagram. Mm-hmm. But we're going to come back and probably try and do a live podcast at night, which will be 14 hours in the future if you're in Central Time. So we're going to talk about all that stuff. So how does that work? We fly over there. We go a day. We jump to the day ahead. So we lose almost like I'm going to lose 14 hours.
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I remember when the whole like Taylor Swift thing, when she was in Japan flying back, and people were trying to figure out the time. Like, will she make it back for the football game, for that Super Bowl?
Because it's weird, because I'm going to fly out on Tuesday.
And Wednesday.
So yeah, I'm flying out Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And then I'm going to end up in San Francisco at 1, or not 1, maybe like 10.
Sounds about right.
Because the time change. And then I jump on my plane at 1 a.m. for Japan.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And then I get to Japan at 5 a.m. Japan time.
Oh my gosh.
And it's an 11-hour flight from San Francisco to Japan.
Wait, so you're landing at what time?
5 a.m. Well, 5 a.m.
On the 16th.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk.
Wednesday.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about something.
So I'm probably gonna have one full day of like to explore Japan, which
hopefully,
is fine with me.
Hopefully you're not jet lagged. I am. Hold on, wait. I am not a Swiftie. Just want to say, not a Swiftie. And then Mary said we lose a day when you go, but then you gain it back when you go home. Yes. So that's exciting. But yeah, I'm excited about all of this, and I'm gonna try to go to Disneyland Tokyo as well while I'm there, because why not? You're already in Tokyo, so that's gonna be a lot of fun to do. Yeah. This is kind of scary because it's happening. It's happening very soon, and I'm looking forward to it.
You're leaving next week, right?
Yeah, next week.
Wow.
I'm gonna fly in all by myself and be like, I don't know where I'm going. Go back to the future. Yeah, that's why when you're like, you're gonna be 14 hours ahead in the future, it's like, I don't want to talk about time travel.
So are there any exclusive you're gonna try and buy at Celebration?
Like exclusive merch and all that?
Yeah.
Probably not. I never get lucky with any of that stuff, so I'm not even going to attempt to do any of that. I'm just gonna go to the booths, and if I find episode 1 stuff, I'm gonna get the episode 1 stuff. Like, that's my goal, is everything episode 1 I'm gonna try to buy. Yeah. So what about you? Are you gonna try to get any of that exclusive Celebration store stuff or Celebration merch?
Well, I'm gonna try and get in line for Celebration store at some point. Maybe after the Mando Grogu panel, and just sit there for 8 hours or whatever. But if it's convenient, I kind of wouldn't mind buying one of the Hot Toys, either the Galen Erso or the Vader.
Galen Erso looks pretty good.
And Hot Toys has a really huge booth. When you look at the map on the app that also just launched, it should work for both iPhone and Android. But hopefully they have the stock there. But then again, I'm thinking that's going to be a big Hot Toy to put back in my luggage, and then the box is going to get all messed up.
That's another thing is like bringing stuff back is not going to be as easy or fun as it normally would be. So that's just like, that's a whole other thing. Darth Beard said, please, previous night's lotto numbers, please. And Feather is a great Japanese razor blade, James. Razor blade company. What are you trying to say? I just really want to know what it is are you saying I should buy some? Are you saying I need to shave right now? One of the two, just kidding. But yeah, I'm not going to get any of that stuff because, one, it's going to be expensive, and two, it's going to take up a lot of space probably in whatever suitcase I have. So yeah.
And they're limited. I think like there's 1,500 of the Galen Erso, and there's 1,000 of the Vader.
Jeez.
So there's I'm pretty sure hardcore collectors going to be there, or people that are collecting for hardcore collectors will be there.
Like, did you see the Death Star popcorn buckets at Disneyland? And the line of people waiting to get these Death Star popcorn buckets
Yeah.
was insane. And then somebody showed a picture of a guy who he must have had like 25 or 50 on him. He was just walking around because he bought them like all, and it was like, you suck, dude. Like, you're the reason why people like, you know what I mean? Like,
Put
come
the
on.
limit. Oh my god.
So upsetting.
Straight to
But,
eBay.
yeah, it's like, dude, come on, give some of us a chance. I will say, I will always be sad I did not get that Obi-Wan Kenobi or the Darth Maul Episode 1 box from Star Wars Celebration Chicago when they had that beautiful box of Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Did not get that one. I was so upset I didn't get that. And it was one of those things where you had to do the lottery, and if you got it, then you can buy it. And then you went there and you picked it up. You showing them your code, and I didn't even get that. So, yeah.
Have you bought anything Star Wars off of eBay?
Off of eBay?
Mm-hmm.
No, I usually buy my Star Wars stuff like used, which sounds weird, on Mercari or Mercury, whatever that's what that app is called.
I think
That's
it's
what I use. Yeah, Mercari.
So in London, of course, like I said on the podcast, I didn't win any panels. Basically, I bought a bunch of pins. I bought a bunch of mystery packs, and I'm gonna have that in Japan too. So I got, I think, 5 Paz Vizslas, and apparently they were going for like $250 a piece on eBay. But I actually traded them out because I guess they were so rare. But I got like a lot of good trades. There was one guy I met in the Rosario Dawson line for autograph. He was like, "Do you want to trade?" I said, "Yes." What he got, and he had nothing I really wanted, except he said, "I have some more pins at my hotel, and I have the baby Ewok pin." And I was like, "Yes, I want that. I'll trade you for that." And it ended up being that he thought I was staying at the Celebration Hotel, which I wasn't. And then he like sent me a message and was like, "Hey, where are you at?" And I'm like, "I'm at my own hotel." And he's like, "Okay, we're not going to probably trade then because we're far away." So I decided to go on eBay when I got back to the States. It was relatively cheap, so I bought it then. You could probably see it behind me somewhere. I don't know, on one of those boards. Still need to hang those boards up. One of them's kind of falling apart. I had it kind of fixed, but I got to find some studs on my wall. But also I'm still trying to plan what I'm going to put behind me.
Just put the heads, just all the helmets, just floating there.
So yeah, that's the thing. I'm buying the custom 3D printed hangers for each one of the helmets, and they're all different. So I'm like waiting for every payday. But now with Japan, it's like I'm kind of ceasing to buy stuff, so I can make sure that I have all the money that I need for that. And it looks like there's a tweet that those just put out for Celebration. Oh, it's another. It's a Fennec Shan pin.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, they make you bounty hunt for these pins at different booths. Yeah, sometimes you get to buy, sometimes you don't.
I'm not going to do the pins only because once you start, that's a very, very slippery slope. Like you're going to end up just spending a lot of money while you're there. Darth Ace said, "Howdy, boys," but he won't be staying on for these podcasts okay. Well, hopefully you join us later. Zach just signed off. Had to go play with the kids. He said, "May the force be with you." Long time. Alrighty then. And then Darth Beard, April 15th, Lego has a date set for a new Star Wars announcement. New see is looking like possibly Slave 1 as last year's. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's a pretty cool announcement there, and hopefully we can get some, but yeah, I'm gonna just, like I said, if I can get into the Celebration store, I just want a shirt that says Star Wars Celebration, Tokyo or Japan, and then the Princess Leia badge. Hopefully they make shirts of those, because they used to make shirts of the badges, and I hope they have that one, because that's the one I would get, is the Princess Leia shirt. So we'll see. Yeah.
So nothing that you're looking forward to as far as merch goes?
No, nothing. No, I'm not gonna do that. I know it's kind of boring, I admit, but yeah, there's nothing like I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get this. No.
Yeah, I might end up with nothing myself. I mean, it just all kind of depends. It kind of depends on like how much we eat out too.
Yeah,
that's an experience. As
We're just gonna go to 7-Eleven. Just go to 7-Eleven every day. Get some food. Bring it back.
go to 7-Eleven. Have you looked if there's a 7-Eleven close to our hotel?
There is one 15 minutes away by walking, which is not that bad at all. So
Yeah, that's not that bad.
I looked it up. Don't worry.
Nice, nice.
Where is there a 7-Eleven near us? Because that's the place to be. Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, and if you see us walking around, don't be shy. You can come up to us. We're gonna have some swag, so we'll have some stickers and pins to hand out that have been sitting here in my office for a while now because I bought them. I made sure I was going to get them in time, so we have a lot of that stuff to give away. And yeah, celebration is feels like it's very very
tomorrow. Yeah, and I messaged Haley because Haley's actually leaving before us, and I said, "Hey, have you packed? Are you starting to pack?" And she said, "No," and I was like, "All right, cool." And I haven't even started to pack yet. I want to. Okay, Mary says, "I want a new Yeti in Citizen Watch." Oh, is that the celebration, or is that like just in general?
Yeah, Citizen has a booth.
Oh my gosh, that sounds expensive. Like just hearing that sounds expensive. Yeah. But we'll see. You go get that and show us what that is, because I don't know. No. Like I said, I'm just gonna look at all the booths, look at all the merch, see if I can find any episode 1 stuff, and then that's what I'm gonna bring home with me. So hopefully the next time I podcast, when I come home, I have a bunch of episode 1 stuff hanging on the wall behind me. So that's my goal.
Cool. Yeah. Anything else out in the chat that anyone brought up?
No, everyone's leaving us. I'm just joking. We have quite a few people here watching, which is pretty nice. No, nothing else from the chat. Just Mary's last message. She wants a new Yeti.
Yeah, as far as Star Wars news, it should be pretty quiet. But then again, I mean, they dropped the Underworld trailer, so I don't know. We might get more stuff. So I heard a couple things actually before we go. So the thing I heard a week ago or so was that some podcasts are actually going to get all episodes of Andor ahead of time. So
all the episodes,
so they can prep when they do their podcast to break it down. I'm going to try. Cool. I'm going to try and get them. And I don't know. Feels like maybe we have like a 10% chance of getting them. I don't know. It's just a file. It'll say our name across, so in case something leaks, they know who to never allow to have these episodes again. So yeah, I'm going to try, because I know it's going to be a lot of content. It's going to be 3 episodes a night. It's basically going to be a movie.
So much.
If they're all 30 minutes long, that might be great this time around, because that's like an hour and a half of content that we're going to be watching.
One time we're wanting it to be 30 minutes.
Yeah, they're just going to dump all this on us, and it's going to be insane. And even Tony Gilroy made a comment about that it's like, it's going to be a lot for podcasters. So yeah, I'm going to ask Lucasfilm, hey, look, can you put us on the list so we can kind of like get the jump on these things and really take a look at them? And I don't know how it's going to affect the pre-show. If we're going to do a pre-show, if we do that.
It would affect it.
We're going to be all hyped, or
we're like, guys, you're not going to believe what you're about to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to sign a bunch of NDAs. But also the other thing that I just heard is the fact that there are going to be quite a few influencers at Star Wars Celebration, like outside of Star Wars. That's kind of wild.
I don't like that at all. Just saying.
I could be a little wrong on that. Maybe there are. I know for sure, of course, there's going to be Star Wars influencers that you've seen on Instagram or whatever.
These TikTok influencers get into a panel. You know what I mean? Just because they're influencers, that's going to make me very upset.
I think that's what's happening. I think they're going to have a special section for them.
I don't like that at all. I saw an influencer at my work. And it was very shocking to see this person in person, considering I see them on TikTok all back in the day, and I was just like, It's like, is that you? And then like they kind of looked at me, and I was like, okay, yeah, I know who you are. But anyways, I just no, that makes me really upset that there might be.
Well, yeah, and there's other so it's a weird thing because there's other big Star Wars accounts that are like talking about how what panels they won, and it's like, how are you just not going to be there? You know?
Yeah. I mean,
So it's a little confusing. I guess you really have to pester them. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever typed a single email to Lucas, and this will be the first. And in our 8 years of existence,
we'll post it and let y'all see what the letter looks like. And
I don't think I'll do that, but
but yeah, it's gonna be exciting, and hopefully we're on someone's radar. You know what I mean? Then they'll be like, "Oh,
the Star Wars account will sometimes jump in here and like I guess monitor us."
Yeah, they're like, "Are these guys actually Star Wars fans?" Like, yeah, we are. We are Star Wars fans. We actually like Star Wars.
As you can see all the stuff behind us right now.
I know, which is so weird to think now. Like as a podcaster, we have to be like, we like it. We really like Star Wars, so we're not just going to get on here and badmouth it. So people. Anyways.
All right. You got anything else, James?
Nah, just everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. I know we really didn't do much of a podcast. We kind of just talked a lot about our anticipation for Celebration. We had some news in there, but
yeah. So I want to say Colin and Zach did break down the trailer.
Yes, go watch that.
If you want to go to YouTube, you can watch it now. Colin said upload it to Spotify, so I'll do that so you can listen to it on audio, and I'll upload this podcast as well, so Darth Ace One can listen to it at work.
But
so
yeah, go for it.
Thank you to all the Patreon supporters out there. Everyone that watches us, listens to us, hits the like button, comments on our videos.
Means the world to us that y'all are a part of this. And again, we can't thank you enough. And countdown to Japan, and we'll keep you posted as it goes on. And I'm James. This is David, and may the force be with you always. Maybe this will work. There we go. That's a good note to end on.
All right, bye guys.
Yeah.